Hello, my name is Donnie, and I'm a teacher at the Philomath Montessori School. And for the past month, my class and I have been learning about and studying France. And so I became interested in paper mâché, which is an art form. And I've heard it called papier mâché, which is French for chewed paper. And so I thought it was from France. I thought paper mâché, papier mâché, was from France. But as I learned more and read more about it, I learned that it was from China, where paper was invented. Let me show you how to do it at home. One thing that you need is a mold, a frame for your creation. Paper mache can take on any form, any shape, but you need to have a form in that shape to put it on. So I chose a bowl from the kitchen and I covered it with plastic wrap. Covered it very tightly with plastic wrap so that when I was finished making my paper mache bowl, I would be able to get it off the bowl from the kitchen. So you need a mold, you need glue. This glue is equal parts water and school glue. But you can also do a glue that is made from flour and water, and there are several different recipes for that glue available on the internet, easy to find, paper mache glue. You need some strips of paper. I have been using different kinds of paper to find out what works best. I have found out what doesn't work best, and that is this kind of tissue paper that we use for gift wrapping. I thought this would work the best, but this was the hardest to work with because it was so fragile. Paper towels worked really well. Paper towels were easy to work with. They were not too fragile. They did soak up a lot of the glue mixture though, because that's what paper towels are for. They're absorbent, to absorb messes. So that took a little extra time to dry with the paper towels. But I just put it in front of a fan to dry, and that sped things up. Put it in front of an electric fan. I found that you can use old paper from your recycling bin, like that letters were written on that came in the mail. You can tear that into strips and use that. You can use advertisements that came in the mail. I find that the way paper is made, you'll find there's a way that it tears easily into strips and a way that it does not tear easily into strips. And you have to find that out about each piece of paper. Let's try this one. That's tearing pretty easily that way. Let's do that again. Pretty easily tearing into strips. Let's try it the other way. Oh, that's even better. That's the way this paper wants to be torn. Look at those nice even strips. Sometimes you want your paper mache to be all of one color. And then you need to use, you can't use newspaper obviously because it's all different colors. It's different colors or it's black and white. So then you need to use fresh, never been used before paper. I wonder how this paper wants to be torn. I think it likes that. So if we wanted it to be white all over, we would use only white paper. Sometimes that's important. Sometimes it's not. It depends on what you're making. I'm going to show you how I do a paper mache creation. I take my strips of paper and I drag them through my glue, and then I use 2 fingers to strip as much of the glue off as I can, but being gentle, because once the paper gets wet, it becomes fragile. And then I lay it on my mold and press it on and smooth it down. Let's try it with the advertisement. Drag it through. I'm using this finger to hold it down in the glue while I pull it through. Strip off the glue very gently. This is even more fragile. This paper is even more fragile than that white printer paper I just used, that office paper. That works. How about this used office paper? This is a very messy job. This is a messy activity. A lot of art is messy. But I'm prepared. I'm wearing an apron. I put a towel down. I put my flexible cutting mat down as well. I have a rag right over here to wipe my hands on because I cannot touch anything right now while I have this glue all over my hands. I couldn't answer my phone if it rang. I certainly can't pet the dog. Either one of the dogs or the cat. So there's one layer on my mold. And since this is kind of thick paper, go ahead and let that dry. Maybe that'll take an hour to dry. And then you can put some more on. You can put more layers on. Let me show you the one I was working on yesterday, which is now dry and ready to be taken off the mold. This is what I was working on yesterday. I used a balloon for my mold. I had a bowl which held it steady for me while I put on the paper mache. I used paper towel strips for this one. This is the one that took extra time to dry, and I put it in front of the electric fan. I ended up putting wax paper underneath it because glue was dripping down and it was making a mess. I decorated it with leaves. I think I've shown you how to press and dry leaves in a heavy book with paper towels sandwiching the leaves or the flowers. So I made dried pressed leaves and I used them. So I made a couple of layers of paper towels of paper mache. Then I put the leaves where I wanted them. I stuck them right on. It was still a little sticky, so they stuck where I wanted them. And then I put one more layer of paper towel, paper mache over those leaves and let it dry completely. Now I'm going to take it off the mold by popping the balloon. I'm going to pop the balloon now very carefully with my scissors. Let's see, I could cut the bottom off. Maybe that's the safest way. This is probably going to be loud though. And here is what I made. Look, it's a bowl. It's a bowl. I can put mail in it. I could give it to someone for Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up. I could put hair ribbons and ponytail holders in it. I can make it into a candle holder. You have to use a real candle holder because this is made of paper and glue, which is extremely flammable. So you have to put it in a proper candle holder, and you need to have an adult around if you are going to use candles anytime. Never use candles without an adult present. And then you can put this in here. You cannot see it glow right now because it is daytime and it's too bright. But let me tell you, at night when it's dark, this has a beautiful glow. Other things that you could use to decorate such a bowl would be flowers, of course, pressed flowers. You could tear irregular shapes out of colored construction paper and put them around. You could cut out precise shapes from colored paper and put them around, maybe hearts. You could cut pieces of yarn, lengths of yarn, and put them in different places, and they might twist and turn and get into different shapes, which would be interesting and pretty. You could take one really long piece of yarn and you could make a spiral all around your bowl. Get all the way around till you got to the very brim of the bowl. Spirals are fascinating. You could cut out pictures from a magazine and sandwich them in there. Many ways to decorate a paper mache bowl. Well, I hope you enjoy exploring paper mache. Remember, it is messy, so have everything around that you're going to need to keep your work area tidy. Clean up thoroughly when you are finished. I have a lot to clean up here now. That's okay, that's part of the work. Have a great day. Enjoy paper mache, papier mache. Au revoir.